Okay, quick review. This is the Easton CXN batting tee. I've looked online for a video review, did not find one, so I figured I'd be the first to make one. I ordered 4 of these. I have assembled 2, and let me give you my initial thoughts on these here. So the 2 in the back are in the box still, and the 2 that are assembled obviously are out of the box. Initial thought is they're just okay. Compared to a Tanner tee, I think the Tanner tee is really the standard of the industry, and I think the Tanner tee works really well. Now, that being said, there's a few things that I do like about these Easton tees, and let me just say this. I'm a batting instructor. I've owned the Easton batting tees in the past. These Easton batting tees are about 10 years old, and they've kind of fallen apart. I've fixed them a few times, and I think it's time that I needed an upgrade, hence the new ones. Now, I will say this, out of the box, this one here was a chore to get this tube to separate from here. Even now, you can see how much I'm struggling. I'm putting my feet on this base, and it's a chore, and it's not even all the way up yet. So, I don't know, maybe it's defective, I'm not sure. This other one that I just put together was really easy. Put my feet on there, and it just kind of glides up, and it glides down. So, not sure why the inconsistencies between the two, but just know if you get one, I bought these on Amazon, you may have one that's really stiff, and that maybe needs to work in. And you may have one that's not as stiff and doesn't need to be worked in. Again, why the inconsistencies? I have no idea. Let's take a look here. One thing that I don't like about these tees, and you probably read the reviews, is these toppers. What is up with these toppers? Again, it looks like it's a, they try to copy the Tanner on this one, the Tanner tee, and it's got these 2 layers. Let me see if I can maybe zoom in a little bit better on that. It's got these 2 layers. It's got this one rubber layer. You can see that there, how shiny that is. It's got this, and then it's got this like vinyl. Yeah, almost like what you would find like on the binder from your high school, like one of those high school binders, folders. I don't know. I'm not sure what the purpose of this is. Maybe it's to protect the inner liner. I don't know. But again, another thing I don't like about these tees is it's got this cover here. And because this tube is so difficult to move up and down, when you go to push this down, on occasion, this will come off. Let me see if I can get it to come off on this one here. There you go. So, I'm not sure what's up with the quality control there. And again, I've had that issue with this other one. Now, I did actually take the heat gun to this one, and I got it to stick a little bit better, but that's after I hit it with the heat gun. I'm sure this is probably going to fix itself. It's oval versus round, and that's just from being in the box. As is this one. And I'm sure over time it'll heat up, but what is up with this? Why is this falling off? It feels like the toppers themselves are a big opportunity here. Yeah, I'm not sure. And if you look at the vinyl on this one, I mean, it's frayed everywhere. I feel like the quality control could have been better. I don't know. These toppers here, to be honest, I'm probably not going to keep these toppers. These old Easton tees, when they came out with these old ones, they had these weird 2-piece, I don't know, they had like a split here and a split on the backside, and after a few cuts, it would just break. And when I talked to the Easton rep, they said they weren't making toppers for these, and they weren't planning on making toppers for these. That was about 10 years ago. And basically, he advised just buy a new tee. Well, that sucks. That's not the answer for me, from any company. If you build an inferior product, you should be able to, modify and make it better. Do I feel like they've modified and made this one better? Yeah, I think the base on these here is definitely made a lot better. I haven't tightened this all the way down. There we go. I feel like the base on these is definitely made a lot better. With these, what would happen is these would separate down here. If you can see, I kind of taped it and wedged it in there so it holds. This base here, it's just a different design. So I really like this. I think Easton got that part right. That was a big flaw in their old tees. The other thing I like about these tees here that I loved about the old one is this big weight. I think it's an 8-pound weight in the center. So when you have a kid that hits, and maybe they hit the tee, it wants to balance itself. And because the base is rubber, it fluctuates, or it flexes. The Tanner tee doesn't. The Tanner tee is very rigid, so if you mishit it, it'll just fall over. This Easton tee, it flexes. So I like that. I mean, you know, as a hitting instructor, there's nothing worse than having to pick up a tee, you know, with the new student every other hit because, you know, they're still in training. So I think that's a big plus. With the tee itself, the entire tee, I think it's awesome. I think Easton did a fantastic job with everything from here down. Here up, you know, you know, there's a lot to be desired. With the old topper, when you pulled it up, it had a stopper. I cannot pull this out. This one here, if I go to adjust it, and it's very hard to adjust, by the way, there needs to be some kind of either lubricant here or something. But it eventually, geez, I'm struggling just to adjust the height on this. There we go. Eventually, it will come out. There is no stopper there. So I think Easton needs to improve on that. And if it does come out, watch this. If it does come out, and I do need to put this back in there, I try to hold it from up here to push down. And when I do that, well, there goes that. So I think that's the flaw. The flaw is definitely the topper. I think the topper needs some work. This two-piece, I don't know. You know, I'm going to keep these. I actually make my own toppers. You know, being a hitting instructor and having to buy a topper every other, you know, few weeks or months because they get ripped. I make my own now. So for 55 bucks, I think it's worth it. And only because I'm handy and I can modify this and make this work for me. However, if you're not very handy, you know, go with the Tanner. I think the Tanner tee by far is the standard of the industry. I think the Tanner tee is very well made. I think, you know, overall you're going to probably get a better tee. It's going to last just as long as this Easton will, but you don't have all these little problems that you have to work with out the box. You know, this one here, it works very nicely, the tube. This one here, this tube is very, very stiff. The issue with the pole here, you know, you can pull the pole out. There's no stopper for the pole. This issue here, I mean, what is that? Come on, I mean, this is a brand new tee and it's falling apart. This vinyl cover just being frayed. It just doesn't look very quality. From the base down, it looks very quality. I think this tube itself, I think it might be powder coated. I'm not 100% sure. I can't tell if that's paint or powder coat. It looks like powder coat to me. And my old one, you know, held up for many years and it's actually still working. And I'm going to continue to use that. I just needed to add a few more tees for my batting lessons. I think the Easton logo, you know, the black with the white stands out. The contrast, I think it looks awesome. Oh, also, make sure you note the warnings here. The pinch point warnings. There's a pinch point right here and here. You know, when you put the tee down, you can definitely smash your finger. Likewise with these old tees. If you're putting the tee down, or maybe there's a kid adjusting the tee, there's a pinch point there, so make sure you observe that. So I'm about 10 minutes into this video. Long story short, would I go with this tee? You know, yeah, I'm going to keep these 4 tees. I think for the cost, you know, for 4 tees, it was about $220 $20 for 4 teas. A tenner tea is going to be about 90 bucks for one. So, you know, for the value, I think it's good, and only because I can modify this myself. However, Easton, if you're listening, that topper is going to be the downfall of this tea. It's not very well made. I think it needs some improvement. This vinyl piece, if it's a cover, protective cover or not, I don't know. It's not even lined up if you look at these here. All right, talk about quality control. There's about a good, I don't know, ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch between this vinyl piece here and this rubber. And then we look at this other one, and it's almost flush. So I think there's some quality control issues, Easton. I don't know. You know, I'm a fan of your products. I like what you, your bats. I think your Easton Ghost bats are great. You know, I've had an Easton bucket. I've had that for probably about 15 years, and I'm still using it. I think you guys make great products, but this one here, you know, it's got a flaw. So again, long story short, tenner tea I think is still the way to go if you're just going to buy one out the box for your kid and not have to make any modifications. But it's almost double the price, at least right now, and this is August of 22. If this tea goes up to about $75 or $70 or whatever the retail is on this, I would definitely go with the tenner. However, for the price point, I would stick with this one if you can modify it yourself, and which I will be doing, and I will be keeping these. And again, like I said, I'm not being paid for this. This is just something I felt like doing because I feel like this tea needed a review, since there was no reviews out there. That's what the box looks like there. 4 of them for myself. And I'll be keeping these here, but keep that in mind. You know, the quality of these is probably not the best. So anyway, best of luck everybody out there. I hope you guys have fun on the field. Lots of memories if you're out there coaching your kid or watching your kid play. You know, take as much pictures and videos as you can, because they'll be adults before you know it. And you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. Thank you.